All right, here's a yoga sequence to work on those tight hamstrings. First, we're going to start in happy baby. So you can grab the bottoms of your feet, inside or outside parts, and bring your knees into your shoulders. Or if it's a little bit tight, just grab down by your ankles. What you want to focus on here is getting your head, shoulders, and even your tailbone up against the floor. Try and keep a nice flat spine as you go into this pose. And you don't need to go super deep. If all you get is just a little stretch, that's all right. From here, place your heels down. We'll glute bridge. Put your hips up in the air. Squeeze your glutes. Hands just resting on your chest or on your belly as you breathe. Really just want to activate the glutes there. Start to bring them back down, then back up. Just squeezing here, holding 10, 15 seconds. Just starting to wake up the glutes, wake up the hamstrings. One more time. By now, your glutes and hamstrings should be talking to you. Make sure you're driving through your heels. And then from here, we're going to go single leg hip thrust. So we got 1, 2, 3, driving into that left heel, right leg straight up in the air. Once you do about 10 or so, you'll switch legs. Left leg up in the air, right heel into the ground. Now you're just getting that hip all the way up. So you're using the glute, using the hamstrings. This is going to be great for hip flexors as a little side note. Just give those hip flexors something to get a little bit longer with. Then from here, rock up, flip around, come to a position on your heels, extended child's pose, hands out long, then rock forward. Come to a tabletop, tuck your toes. Just flipping the hat here for you guys. Then we got a downward facing dog. Really good pose for the hamstrings. Send your hips up and back. Try and get that butt up as high as you can. If that means bending your knees, heels don't touch, that's all right. Press the floor away with your hands, pointer and index finger with a majority of your weight. From here, rock forward into a high plank. Just going to activate those glutes and hammies a little bit more. Right heel lifts. Hold that plank, then bend the knee. 90-degree angle here. Now you're really working that glute and hamstring, then lower it back down. Lift that left leg, straight line. You're holding a strong plank. Press the floor away, bend the knee. Heel, 90-degree angle. Knee, 90-degree angle. Then we're going to come back to a downward facing dog. From down dog, forward fold. Step your feet right behind your hands. Just going to get a nice bend in your knees. Hinge at the waist. Grab behind your ankles to help pull yourself down a little bit more. You want to feel this in your hamstrings, not in your low back. If you're feeling it in your low back, come up out of it a little bit or bend your knees a little bit more. From there, we'll come to a chair pose. Sit in your heels, arms reach up. Make sure you're exhaling to pull that rib cage down. Straight line from your glutes up to your shoulders. And then plant your hands. Step your left foot forward, right foot back. We'll come into a crescent moon, so lunging into that left hamstring. Then you push back into a half split. Sit your hips back. Hips stay square. Left knee bent slightly. Pull that left foot towards your face. Should be feeling that left hamstring here. Try and keep that spine aligned and neutral the entire time. Come back forward. Sink into that left hamstring. And then push back. Maybe get a little bit deeper this time on your half splits. Again, see the flat neutral spine as you come all the way through here. You might get a little bit of low back extension. Make sure that your glutes squeezing forward. Push back. And then I'm going to spin so that you guys can see where I'm moving to. You'll do this still facing the same direction, but we'll come to a half happy baby with your foot sticking out. So you're just rocking forward and back, getting the inside of that hamstring almost into the groin. As you sit back, rotate that toe up. As you come forward, rotate the toe forward. 4 or 5 rounds here, then you're just going to flip back, or I'm just flipping back. You'll stay where you are. Tuck that right toe, low lunge. Left leg lifts, and then come back to that downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, shift forward, forward fold at the top of your mat. And then you'll rise into your chair. Going to go on the other side now. From chair, sit in it, then step your left foot back. Left knee drops down. Big breath in as you lean forward into your crescent moon. Right hamstring getting a stretch. Then from that crescent moon, you're going to hinge back. Halfway splits. Sit back onto that left heel. Maybe not all the way, but you want to get those hips back. Then keep that chest flat in your quad. Soft bend of that right knee. Stretch out that hamstring. Then you rock back forward, crescent moon. Then push your hips back again. Again, keeping that toe pointed towards you. It's all right to have a bent knee. Then you rock forward. One more crescent moon. Again, keep those glutes squeezing forward. Then push back, half splits. It's okay to take a little extra time on these half splits, maybe 10, 15, 20 seconds. Then from here, you're going to slide that right leg out. Again, I'm just facing the camera so that you guys can see what I'm doing here. As you rock back, rotate that right toe up, working into that right inner hamstring area, inner groin. Then that right foot steps forward again. One last little crescent moon, then push back. Left toe tucks, right leg lifts, three-leg dog into a downward facing dog. From here, right leg lifts, step that foot through for a low lunge, and then reach up, crescent lunge. Then we're going to hinge down into a pyramid. So hips are pushing back. That left heel may press into the floor, it may not, but you want to think about making a triangle with your two legs. Front knee can be slightly bent, but you're really working on that front right leg hamstring. Then come back up into a crescent lunge. Then you're just going to spin to the left. Warrior two, just for a moment. Draw that right knee towards your pinky toe. Big breath in, then spin. Exhale, forward fold. Wide legs, rock side to side. Bend your knees. Again, trying to keep that back flat as much as you can. Big breath in, find a big star, reach your arms wide, and then sit into a nice horse squat. Knees driving out over your toes. Big breath in, big star. Exhale, warrior two. Then you'll plant your hands, step your feet back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lift that left leg, use that glute, use that hamstring to get it there. Then drive it forward for a low lunge. Come up into a crescent lunge, left knee over your left ankle. Exhale, pyramid. If you have blocks can be a really good tool here, as you can just bring that floor a little bit closer to you. Right heel, you can see, is not touching down. That's all right. Trying to stay flat and neutral through the spine. Left knee is slightly bent. My left side's a little bit more flexible so I can get a little deeper. Then come back up into crescent lunge. And then spin open into a warrior two. Relax those shoulders down. Big breath in. And then you'll find a wide leg forward fold. Rock side to side, stretching the inner hamstring, inner groin area. And reach those arms out wide, big star. And then exhale, come down into a horse squat. Nice wide sumo squat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two, back to the front of your mat. Plant your hands, step back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From that downward facing dog, bring your knees to the ground. Find an extended child's pose. Recenter, recalibrate in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then once you've spent enough time in that child's pose, you rock forward, tuck your toes, press back into a downward facing dog. Big breath in, big breath out. Inhale, lift that right leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step that foot forward. Then you're going to slide that foot out into a lizard lunge. Untuck your left foot, let that left knee come to the ground. Then you're getting really deep into that right hamstring. Use blocks if you need to stay lifted through that chest. Notice how I got a flat, neutral spine still. I'm just rocking that knee in and out. Then once you spend about 15, 20 seconds there, bring your feet back in between your hands, sit back into a half splits, like we did earlier in this sequence. Right foot pulled towards you, chest in your right quad. Then you step back, right leg lifts, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift that left leg. Exhale, step that foot in between your hands, then shimmy that left foot outside of your hands, hands inside that left foot, right leg goes long, untuck your toe. And you'll go through the same thing on the other side, rocking that knee left to right. Again, don't roll to the right or roll to the left or do anything different with the rest of your body. Then you come into a half split, sit your hips back, left knee softly bent, left foot coming towards your face. Again, you can use blocks here to help keep that back nice and flat. Tuck your right toe, left leg lifts, three-leg dog. Exhale out, find a nice downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, find a nice seated position. We'll start with a seated forward fold. Keep a soft bend to your knees, grab your ankles, feet, whatever's accessible. You just lean forward. Again, if this gives you back pain or a little bit of tightness in your low back, bend your knees more, or you can skip this pose entirely. It's like a forward fold, bend in your knees, hinging at the waist, just like you do when you stand up. Then lean back, bring your right knee into your chest, drive that right toe towards your face. Left leg goes nice and long, really working into the depth of that hamstring on your right side. Try and find a nice easy breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Really want to relax, de-stress right here as we wind down in this sequence. The more relaxed you can be, the less tone those muscles are going to get and the less tension they'll hold on to. From here, straighten that leg out as much as you can. Pull that right toe towards your face. You can grab your ankle, you can grab your hamstring, whatever's accessible for you right now. But then you want to pull that leg back with your back still against the floor. I got mine up just a little bit. It's more the low back that you want to make sure is pressed against it. And then you pull back until you feel a little bit of shaking. If it's too painful or the shaking gets to be too much, back off a little bit. But you want to hold this at least 30 seconds if you got time. Then switch it out. Left knee comes into your chest. Pull that left toe towards your face. Fingers interlace around the shin. And let your right leg go long. Again, this is time to wind down. Nice, easy breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then straighten up through that left leg. Grab the ankle, grab the hamstring. If you got straps or some sort of resistance band, this could be a great opportunity to wrap them around the middle of your foot. Allow you to just lay back and really relax here. Then one of the last poses we'll do, final happy baby, back where we started. This time you might be able to get a little bit deeper. Grab for your ankles, grab for the inside or outside arches of your feet. Open those knees wide. Now you can spend as much time here as you want. For this video, we got another 10 seconds, and then we'll wind down. You can take a final Shavasana, or get up and enjoy your relaxed hamstrings. Here for 3, 2, and 1. Lower down.